Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending our presentation. Pure is the data source for presenting research activities on customized website of the Universität Hamburg. I'm Lisa Brase. I'm doing the presentation together with my colleague Steffen Grünler, and we're both CRIS manager at the Center for Sustainable Research Data Management. Okay. So starting with a quick overview of our CRIS at the Universität Hamburg. So we're productive since November 2018. By now we have around about 58,000 publications in there, 2,000 running projects with 10,000 in total, 10,000 internal persons containing 3,500 active users. So what was our motivation behind this? So we are a large university with 8 faculties and roughly 40,000 students and 3,500 researchers. And we have no obligations for using a CRIS. Also, public presentation of research activities on the websites are very decentralized with a lot of individual technical solutions, which means a lot of effort, but also no consistent website presence between departments and faculties. So our idea was, okay, why not using our CRIS data as a source for web content? So then we can maybe combine both. So people might use Pure, and also with the integrated web content management tools we're using for the websites, they maybe be a more lookalike. So if you want to do so, you're facing 3 main challenges. So the first one is you need a unique identifier of persons. The second one, how to determine and differentiate between one person's organizational affiliations. And the last one, you have to make sure constant data quality also of the specific levels, meaning persons related to affiliations. Quick excursus to the technical background. So the specific Pure content is harvested via the implemented REST API, and outside Pure, the data is transformed, filtered, and sorted. We're using different scripts for that. And in the end, content is rendered in different ways on the respective websites. So when we're talking about respective websites, we mainly speak about 3 main website types. So we have here an example publication in Pure. And as a researcher, I want to see that publication, of course, on my personal website, on the organizational, and also in our portal. So how we do that for the personal website. For the personal website, we have a personal user ID. This is actually an ID we're reusing. So everyone who has a contract with the university, and our university getting a personal ID, and it's used for everything, for access and content controlling when you want to get access to your email accounts, edu-room, also log into Pure and the web content management. So it's perfect. It's a perfect identifier you can easily reuse to see your personal Pure content on your personal website. So, for the organizational website, we have an organizational ID. This ID is based on the internal organizational structure in Pure and used to control the content. Using an organizational ID for here also has 2 additional advantages. So first of all, you can distinguish between internal and external research outputs. So when it's linked to an organizational ID, you can make sure that you definitely see only internal research output. And the next advantage is that you also see research output of external persons linked with internal content types, which is very important for our university because we have 4 big research clusters. For example, those research clusters have some sub-projects with external PIs, but of course, they're doing some research for our university, so it's internal content. So, and from that point on, I hand over to my colleague, Steffen.
So one question which is always on our mind is how to ensure a constant data quality of the specific level. At first, we connect the data warehouse and the human resource system to our quiz, and this ensures at first an automatic data flow, and of course some pre-controls in in these feeding systems. And it ensures also a kind of mapping of the persons to this, as Lisa mentioned, organizational unit, because the university should know which person should work where, but often it isn't the case. The next level is, of course, we have numbers of editors who are doing the most of the work in the department libraries, in the faculties, and in the main administration. And they are schooled by us, and they increase just by their daily work the data quality. That's the normal work for us. And the third step is also we can interfere in this automatic data flow by using a kind of override tables. So we can manually add some special content when, for example, an external person is producing internal content. For example, internally we call it the stux, because we do it really often, and this says a lot of the data quality of the source systems. But nevertheless, of all this automatization, the main work is done by the user itself, and we have the approach that we presenting the whole content on the websites and also in our portal, and also the errors, and we just forcing the feedback, also bad feedbacks, and we have no other chance because it's not mandatory of using the FIS at our university. And with this bad response, we increase the data quality. It's quite simple, but it's maybe not a friendly way, but we increase the awareness of using the FIS. Next, the last section of our presentation is I want to use the opportunity to have a short walk through our mentioned research portal. As you can see here, we present the bundle of the known content, like the research outputs, the project, the equipment, and so on. On the right-hand side, you can see a list of a publication. We also linked to our repository, a dataset repository. You can see it here. It's also a list of the covered data, which are also linked between the repository and our quiz system. On the main page, I jump back on the main page. We present some key figures, like the number of the faculties, the number of persons, some facts about core research areas of the university, and so on. And on the left, I'm back. We also normally it should. Oh, okay, I missed some slide. Funny. We also, you can see it on the left-hand side down. We also show some sustainable development goals, so the user can figure out how the university contributes to the SDGs. For now, it's just of the publications and the projects, but we hope that we can increase the content also for the other content types. On the main page, we also have or showing a map of the collaborators, and the user can see what kind of collaborators we have, how many research output we have with the other institutions, and further content is also we present some sustainable development goal map of our internal organizations and some research related news, which is fed by another system. I go back to the publication list. We also implemented some filters, like the publication type, like the year of the publication, and you can also filter over some organization units, and you also can combine this. You can see it here on on the right-hand side. And yeah, that's it. It's just a short walk through our research portal. Now I come to our summary. What lessons we have learned from this process? To say it briefly, Pure as data source for presenting the research activities on customer websites works very well. This leads us to the situation that the researchers are using the quiz. And this is what we really wanted, because I remind you that using the quiz is not mandatory, unfortunately. We use some customized identifiers, so we ensure the unique allocation between persons and organizational units. And we're connecting through automatic data flow, the data warehouse and human resource systems, also to fit the structure and to the related persons. Nevertheless, a lot of manual corrections are necessary. That's the nature of it. And by forcing, by presenting the content on public websites, we're forcing a feedback, and so this is our approach to increase the data quality. To say it briefly, the technical implementation, it's easy, but the data enrichment and also the data quality remains really the biggest challenge for us. So we can't say really often, and we have to school the users, and that's what we can do. Lisa.
So since we're presenting here, we thought it might be a nice to have a nice to have list. So here are some of our quick brainstorming. What would be a nice to have? For example, having a very clear determination between workflow and no workflow. So the actual state in Pure is that no workflow is equal to entry in progress. And it's difficult to filter between internal and external publications. We found a workaround for organizational websites, but it would also be nice to do so on a personal level. And also, the API only provides entry in progress instead of, e.g., maybe something like no workflow. So another thing might be nice to have when you get an open access status via the REST API. Also, better documentation of the REST API, actually. So at the moment, we're just looking into Jira, close Jira tickets, and find out what we want to do. And the last thing, I also discussed this on the Slack before, is having the SDGs of 21, because they're more precise than 2020 and leads to a high acceptance in the research community. And also, it's now mandatory when you do some applications for research findings. Oh, thank you very much for your attention, and we're looking forward to your questions.